The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised. What's up, fam? What's going on, my beaches, my booshes, my lovely peeps? I love you. I do. I love you. Papa Swolio hath returneth with more juice, and I'm going to squeeze really hard. Nuts on yo chin, as always. If you follow my content, and obviously you do, you've probably followed me on my Daily Swole podcast, so check out all those links, description down below. And if you're not yet subscribed, come on. Come on, don't you want some more nuts on your chin? Hit the subscribe button because I'm dropping new juice all the time. We have some new supplement juice. As most of you know, I am not a big fan of supplements. I used to take supplements, but then upon going off all those supplements, all the pre-workouts, all the intra-workouts, the post-workouts, the pills, the blah, 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 you realize, holy shit, if I focus on my nutrition, I get all that I need. And maybe you take some vitamins, some minerals, things of that nature, but there's a lot of things that people should supplement for, and there are even more things that people take supplements for no reason. They don't know if it's working or not, or they take something and they don't have any deficiency, so they're just taking extra, which may either be doing nothing or causing them harm. So we need to get more tactical with our supplementation and learn more about our bodies before we start taking extra. And supplements, yes, they can work for high-level athletes and performance and give you an edge and give you a boost, but for the average person, you don't need all that fluff. The billion-dollar industry, those of you that went to the Arnold Classic recently, those of you that go to these fitness expos, are pretty much just displays for supplement companies. They just give out samples, buy my shit, buy my shit, buy my shit. Well, now, today, actually yesterday, breaking news, an unfortunate, illegal dietary supplement scam was just released. All this information, the indictment was just released by the United States Department of Justice, and I am going to share that with you and break it down. I'm going to read it for you and put a link in the description below if you want to read the entire thing. But I want to share my opinions and just kind of bring it to your attention because this kind of scheme, this type of illegal behavior, this type of shadiness with supplement companies relative to the FDA, what they can get away with and what they're actually doing. Now, this has been going on for what's likely to be a few to several years. This kind of stuff doesn't happen overnight, but it's just a picture of someone that got caught or a few people that got caught that are under the microscope. Just like Brittany Dawn, there are other online coaches and people that are not delivering on their services, but they didn't get caught yet. They don't have as big of a following that would generate a lot of hate or, noise to catch the mainstream attention, right? So let's get into this article. I'll read it to you. I'll put it right up here and I'll put the link in the description below. So let's get into it. Okay, here we go. 6 people and 2 Florida corporations were charged in an indictment for their roles in a scheme to distribute illegal dietary supplements, the Department of Justice announced today. And this is yesterday, March 13th, 2019. Philip Braun of Boca Raton, Florida, Aaron Singerman of Delray Beach, Robert DiMaggio of Henderson, Nevada, Anthony Ventrella of Boynton Beach, David Winsauer of Boca Raton, and James Bacuzzi of Parkland, Florida, were charged in a 14-count indictment that was returned by a federal grand jury in Miami, Florida on March 7th, 2019, and was unsealed today. The indictment also charged Blackstone Labs and Ventec Labs, 2 Florida limited liability companies in Palm Beach County, Florida. The indictment alleges that the defendants sold hundreds of thousands of illegal products, including anabolic steroids, nationwide and internationally, fraudulently representing that those products and pills were high-quality legal dietary supplements. According to the indictment, the defendants created an illicit manufacturing company and routed sales of illegal products through trusted distributors, knowing that the products were unsafe or could not legally be sold to consumers. Quote, fraud by supplement manufacturers and distributors is extremely dangerous for consumers who rightly assume that a dietary supplement product sold in stores or online will not contain unapproved drugs, said Assistant Attorney General Jody Hunt for the Department of Justice's Civil Division. These products are not safe, and that is why we will continue to aggressively pursue and prosecute those who import, manufacture, and distribute dangerous and illegal ingredients for fraudulent purposes. It goes on to say, All of the defendants were charged with one count of a conspiracy to defraud consumers and the Food and Drug Administration by selling products labeled as dietary supplements that contained unapproved new drugs, illegal steroids, and other ingredients that were hazardous and prohibited by law. The indictment also charges Braun, an owner of Blackstone Labs, and Singerman, a former company owner, with 2 counts of introducing a product known as Super DMZ RX 2.0, an unapproved new drug, into interstate commerce. The maximum punishment for the conspiracy to defraud is 5 years in prison and a fine of $250,000 or twice the gross gain or loss from the offense. The maximum punishment for each of the 2 counts of introducing an unapproved new drug is 3 years in prison and a fine of $250,000 or twice the gross gain or loss from the offense. The indictment further charges Braun, Singerman, and 6 other defendants with 1 count of a conspiracy to distribute anabolic steroids, which are Schedule III controlled substances under federal law and which may cause kidney failure, liver damage, and other permanent health problems when misused. The indictment alleges that one person suffered serious bodily injury from the use of one of the steroids involved in the conspiracy. The maximum punishment for the conspiracy to distribute controlled substances is 15 years imprisonment and a fine of $500,000 or twice the gross gain or loss from the offense. The indictment additionally charges several defendants in 3 separate counts of distribution of anabolic steroids and charges Ventrella with 1 count of possession of an anabolic steroid with the intent to distribute. The maximum punishment for each count of distribution of a controlled substance and for the count of possession of a controlled substance with the intent to distribute is 10 years in prison and a fine of $500,000. Finally, Braun and Singerman are each charged with 3 counts of money laundering. The maximum punishment for each money laundering charge is 10 years in prison and a fine of $250,000 or twice the amount of the property involved in the money laundering transaction. In short, this is alleged stuff. This is an indictment. This is not a conviction. They are not guilty right now. However, people don't usually get charged with all these things if they are completely innocent. So I think it's safe to say, unfortunately, innocent till proven guilty doesn't really work well with the American public, doesn't work well with social media. So anytime someone gets charged, it's like, oh, they did something wrong. So I want to make it clear these are allegations and they are indicted, and obviously they're going to go to trial, but usually those types of things don't happen when someone is perfectly clean. This just goes to show that this is not some made-up thing when we talk about the supplement industry and the FDA having a lot of holes and having a lot of loopholes. People are using normal, legal distribution channels to distribute illegal substances. That's how they get around. But when you start talking about supplements that are being on the counter, you are consuming stuff that is not going through the proper channels. Just because you can purchase it in a store, this just goes to show that you still don't know what you're getting. So you're better off buying from reputable sources, but some people might think that Blackstone Labs was a reputable source. It was a big company, it was a big name brand. Have you heard of it? I mean, drop in the comments below if you have any other experiences with either Blackstone Labs or another company that has scammed people blatantly before, or any other supplement that you've used that have had problems. Obviously, ephedra has gotten banned. The 1,3-dimethyl, the DMAA, is also banned more recently, I believe. So there's a lot of stuff that comes out that, okay, if you take this, it could put you at more harm's risk, and then they remove it from shelves. But we can also agree that if you say take 1 pill, there's always gonna be that jabroni that takes 3 pills or 4 pills. Take 1 scoop, the jabroni that takes 3. So even if you have something that is safe to take and you put all the labels, all the descriptions, all take this amount, you're always going to have someone that takes too much. You can take anhydrous caffeine, which is just powdered caffeine. You can take a spoonful of that and probably have a fucking heart attack because you just sucked down a couple thousand milligrams of caffeine. And that's legal. So a lot of times the poison is in the dose, how much of it you're taking. But if something is really bad for you, you really don't want to be taking a small amount of it if you can help it. And as taking these supplements, these are things that are supposed to help you perform better, help you get leaner or build muscle and be healthier overall. And if you're putting your health at risk, then what are you taking the supplement for? It's not helping you health-wise. So just be very, very aware that shit is not being tested like you think it is. Things are not going through the proper channels like you think they are. And just because you're buying your supplements from maybe a reputable distributor or you're buying it from a reputable brand, unfortunately, it does not mean that that brand is not doing some shady shit behind the scenes. So please drop in the comments below. Again, these are allegations. This is from the Department of Justice. I'll put the link in the description below if you want to read the entire thing. But drop in the comments below if you have any opinions, which I'm sure you do. If you have any experience with this, anything else that's going on that you know of or that happened recently. And if you have any personal experience with these companies or these individuals, just drop in the comments below. Happy to drop my nuts on your chin and shine some light on more fitness industry bullshit.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808s, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing, like an IPO trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give